Hello friends, welcome back. In this session, we will discuss the work of the leaders. It's going to be very interesting and we will discuss what a particular leader should do and how it brings them as a leader. It's going to be interesting and easy to understand. The first point that I'd like to tell you here is get on the balcony. It is always very important to take a step back from the immediate situation and to gain a broader perspective. The leaders actually detach themselves from the details and most importantly, they detach themselves from the emotions of the situation and instead they view it from a higher vantage point, like a simple observer looking from a balcony. And through this method, the leaders analyze complex problems, understand the dynamics, and identify possible solutions. By doing this way, they can also gain the best clarity and insight to how to navigate into the situations most effectively. And this is one thing every leaders work with. The second very important aspect is identifying the adaptive challenge. The leaders identify it nicely, and if you see it very carefully, what is adaptive challenge? It is a complex problem that never has a straightforward solution and often it requires changes in attitudes or values and even behaviors. So unlike technical challenges which can be solved with known solutions and technical expertise, adaptive challenges requires a lot of learning as well as thought process change. The leaders normally identify the adaptive challenges and they solve it by few steps. They first define the problem. They clearly articulate the problem and they understand what are the symptoms and what are the underlying causes. Next, they analyze the context very clearly. They have to consider the broader context in which the problem exists. What social, cultural, political, economical, or technological factors are influencing the situation should be analyzed very clearly. And identifying the stakeholders is the next very important thing that has to be done. And leaders do that. The leaders identify the individuals or groups who are affected by or have a very strong stake in the outcome of the challenge. The leaders consider the perspectives, interests, and power dynamics as well. Next, distinguishing between the technical and adaptive challenges. This is a very important aspect. The leaders determine whether the challenge you are facing is technical, which can be solved by known solutions, or is it adaptive, which means requires new learning, behavior, or adaptation. Recognize the adaptive work is the next thing that leaders will carry on. Look for the deeper underlying issues that require adaptive responses is the first way to handle it. These may involve shifts in values, attitudes, behaviors, or the way of thinking. Then leaders also frame the challenge properly. They frame the challenge in a way that captures its adaptive nature and changes required to address it effectively and immediately. They develop a strategy as well. Once you identify your adaptive challenge, you can begin to develop a strategy for addressing it. This may involve in experimenting as well. New approaches could be tried. Engaging stakeholders is very important here. Building alliances should be done and fostering a culture of learning and adaptation has to be done. So all this will be done by the leaders. Then regulate distress. This is very important. Regulating distress refers to managing the emotional and psychological reactions that arise when dealing with difficult or uncertain situations. When individuals or organizations confront adaptive challenges, they often experience discomfort, anxiety, frustration, or even fear. So this is very important to handle properly. How do leaders handle it? They acknowledge emotions. They encourage the individuals to acknowledge and express their emotions rather than suppressing them. They provide support. The leaders offer support and resources to help individuals cope with their emotions and navigate the challenges they are facing. This could involve providing access to counseling, coaching, or other forms of support. And leaders also provide and promote self-care. Encourage the individuals to prioritize self-care and well-being is a very important way the leaders work with. The meditation, relaxation techniques, and spending time with the loved ones are all suggested by the leaders as well. The leaders encourage reflection. They promote reflection and mindfulness to help individuals gain perspectives on their emotions and reactions. Leaders also communicate very effectively. Leaders maintain open and transparent communication channels. They don't hide things. The clear communication is an asset which all leaders have. and leaders set realistic expectations too. The leaders encourage people to understand what is the expectation and they manage expectations by setting realistic goals and timelines. And most importantly, they foster a learning mindset. This is very important aspect where they encourage individuals to view challenges as learning experiences rather than failures. So this is all very important aspect of how leaders are looking into the regulating stress part of it. Now comes the maintaining disciplined attention. What is it? It's a very important aspect and we need to understand it. It's another important area where the leaders work on. And when they address adaptive challenges, this is very important. It involves staying focused on the key priorities, goals, and strategies necessary to navigate complex and uncertain situations. That's how the leaders work with it. They clarify objectives very clearly, they define the objectives and goals very clearly, and they prioritize tasks as well. They identify the most critical task and action that will contribute to addressing the adaptive challenge. So that's a very important thing. They stay flexible too. While maintaining disciplined action, it's also essential to remain flexible, which leaders always do. Minimize distractions. The leaders identify and minimize distractions that may divert attentions away from addressing the adaptive challenge. This could include setting boundaries around the technology use, creating dedicated workspaces, or even establishing specific times for focusing works. They also practice time management and they may involve breaking tasks into smaller manageable chunks and setting deadlines always help. They help in monitoring progress. They regularly monitor progress towards addressing the adaptive challenges. And they seek feedback. That's the most important thing. The leaders solicit feedback from the stakeholders and team members to gain insights into what's working well and where improvements are needed. And reflect and learn is the next thing that they do as well. Take time to reflect on what has been accomplished and what lessons have been learned along the way. This is very important too. And then comes giving back, giving the work back to the employees. What is it and how is it important? This approach involves in delegating tasks, responsibilities, and decision-making authority to employees. Empowering them is the most important thing that the leaders should do. Understanding employee strengths is the first thing that the leaders do. They know the strengths, skills, and capabilities of each employee. Clarifying expectations is the next thing that they have to do. They should ensure that employees understand what is the expectation. They provide necessary resource and support as well. They encourage autonomy. They empower employees to make decisions and take initiative within their areas of responsibility. They offer proper feedback and recognition. Many of us are looking into feedback and many of us really look for recognition too. This is all done by proper leaders. Foster collaboration. They encourage collaboration and teamwork and they create proper opportunities to go ahead with teamwork. They trust and delegate authority. Trust employees to make decisions and exercise judgment in their assigned roles is a great way of showing that you are with the employees. So that's one thing that leaders always do. They monitor progress and provide guidance consistently. And finally, protect leadership voices from below. They encourage open communication. They don't suppress people who come up with ideas. They listen actively. They actively listen to the perspectives and viewpoints of the employees. They value diverse perspectives. That's very important too. They create safe spaces. They establish safe spaces where employees feel comfortable expressing their opinions or concerns. This could include designated forums or meetings where constructive feedback is always welcome. They lead by example. The leaders are to be an example. If not, they don't qualify to be a leader. They address power dynamics. They are very mindful of power dynamics within the organization that may inhibit employees from speaking up. And they provide proper training and support, which is very important. And finally, they also follow up and take action. They demonstrate a commitment to acting on feedback and input provided by employees. So this is something very, very important. We can also become a leader, and I hope this series helps you in becoming one.